You are now tuned in to the War Party Paranormal Radio Show, where we will be discussing actual audio and visual clips captured during the team's investigations. Hear firsthand eyewitness accounts from fellow team members and special guests. Now smash that like, subscribe, and follow button, and let's get ready to welcome team leader and your host, Eric Vanderlaan, and tech specialist and co-host, Mike Del Coro.
Happy Monday, everybody. We're back for another Monday evening of some great guests. And I'm your host, Eric, the War Party Paranormal Radio Show, and your team leader of War Party Paranormal Research. And over here, right here.
What's up, guys? My name is Mike Del Coro. I am a tech specialist and paranormal investigator with War Party Paranormal and your co-host. And we got a great show for you guys tonight. I'm going to let Eric introduce him and let you guys know what we're getting into.
Yep, we're getting into another great guest. And we have a good friend of ours, good friend of the team. He's a local guy. He's Bill Slevin, and he has the team Paranormal Existence Research Society in Coral Springs, Florida. He's investigated with us for a few times, and he's got some good credentials. So you guys are going to want to listen to him. He's part of the Warren Foundation. He runs his own team. He does a lot of residentials. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to play a little quick intro. How about that?
Let's do it.
You ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Let it roll.
How many people in here believe in ghosts?
Over here in the corner that wants to talk to us?
Of talk of the firing squad wall, and when we were back there, I felt something grab me on the shoulder, and everybody I was with was in front of me, and I was backed up against the wall, so I don't know what it was, and you could hear somebody, a faint screaming of a woman.
Pretty cool, huh?
Awesome.
Yep. So we're not going to waste any time, and let's bring Bill in. Hey, Bill.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Long time no see.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think the last time was at Bell Glade, maybe. I think were you there when we were there? I think that was
I think so.
Yep, definitely.
So missed that place.
So you gave me a really awesome intro, but unfortunately, I can only play it like a 2-minute portion of it. So I narrowed it down. But what got me intrigued was when you were talking about the executioner's wall at the Castillo de San Marcos in St. Augustine.
I love that place.
Yeah, earlier we were in the studio and we were talking about how dead it was from when COVID first hit.
Yeah.
Well, I was fortunate enough to stay a weekend there. I had a place to stay during COVID, and the whole place was shut down, like all the restaurants, all the
Yep.
stores. So it was like the most quietest St. Augustine that you'll ever experience ever again. So, I wandered around the place, doing little investigations. It's real quiet. You can hear a pin drop. So I got a lot of activity at that executioner's wall. And I'm going to play a little clip that I got there that pretty much blew my mind away. I want to share this with you and everybody. So here we go. Was anyone executed at this wall? Can you touch that device right there with the numbers? Can you do it again? How did you die if you died here? Was anyone executed at this wall? Can you touch that device right there with the numbers? Right there. Can you touch that device right there with the numbers? So that was like pretty wild. Like I put the EDI in one of the cannonball holes and it's sensing vibration. And this is like at 1 a.m. I don't know if like the coquina, like it's basically matched up shells that they build this fortress.
Right.
I don't know if it like expands and shrinks from the
There's
heat.
no way it would.
I don't know.
Trigger a
It's
vibration
crazy.
like that. If anything, that's the whole design of that coquina is to absorb
Exactly, like a sponge.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of energy at that place. There is. I mean, I'm an empath, and I can feel like I could feel the energy and the emotions. And that place was pretty wild. That when I was talking about, I was there. That was probably back. Wow, that was way back in like 2011 or so. That time when I was there. I tried to go up there as much as possible. Actually, it's funny when COVID first started. Yeah, it was pretty dead. But then after like the first year, all of a sudden it was like 3-4 times the amount of people at that place. Because I usually go up around New Year's and I stay there for a few days. And not this year, but the past year, we were up there for 10 days, staying up there, and the place was wall to wall everywhere. People were back out, and I have never seen so many people there.
I see a message here. Vi? Hi, Vi.
She's always on.
Yeah, I love. I mean, St. Augustine is such an amazing place. Everywhere you turn, and there's some kind of historical, landmark.
You just walk the alleyways there, and there's stuff going on. It's crazy. I mean, we were there 9 months ago, and we did the Dark of the Moon tour for the investigative one, and we lucked out because there's only like 4 other people. So we pretty much had the place to ourselves, and that we investigated the lighthouse keeper's attic. We spent most of our time there and just got crazy stuff there. Music box going off, shadow figures, really weird.
There's so much up there. The only bad part is for EVPs and stuff, it's tough because there are so
loud,
many people. There is so much noise everywhere there. But
we got really lucky. I was with my good buddy Joe. We were up there a couple years ago, and we were at the old jail, and they saw us with our equipment, and they kind of knew that we had some experience, and they were like, listen, guys, you go ahead, just hang out, like while we're in between, and let us stay there at the end of the night when they were kind of cleaning up. And so we got the whole upstairs of the jail by ourselves for a couple hours, and we got some really surprising stuff. And that was really cool. Probably a once in a lifetime thing, unless we go back there and rent out the whole place again, but that was really mind blowing.
Yeah, we definitely want to do that again. Go up there.
Yeah, that time I was up there, like I said, I think it was like 2011 or something. It was a while ago. And I didn't have all my equipment and stuff with me. We're up there, and it was a last minute thing. I jumped on. We got somebody that was doing a private tour, and it was just me and a couple of people we were with. And they, at that time, they never used to let anybody around the property at night. And we were able. He had some kind of permission. We were able to get on the property outside there and stuff at night. And yeah, it's got some interesting energy and stuff back there.
Yeah, we got some really strange stuff, and it's too much to get into right now because it would take on probably a whole episode, right? But one of the wildest things was
miniseries
at the end of the night, which was kind of strange, is like, I was just taking a couple pictures of my phone on the way out, and I had my phone turned sideways and landscape, and I was taking a couple of pictures of the gallows. And when I was leaving and I started swiping through the photos, one was upside down. It took it but the phone didn't glitch or anything. It was kind of strange. I was like, that's weird. But we got some really crazy EVPs and a lot of stuff. I love it. I really do love St. Augustine.
It's my Disney World.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you one funny thing from there, though. When I go up, sometimes I'll hop on some of those tours and just, even some of the commercial ones, just have fun. And I was on, this was way back then too. I was on the Ghosts and Gravestones tour, and on the little trolley we're going by, and it took you to the jail. I went out and took some pictures by the gallows. And when I do my lectures, a lot of times I do try to educate people on some things that aren't real, like dust and how things are. And I got this really crazy lens flare that goes straight across on the picture of the gallows. It's a lens flare, obvious. I had posted it on, I think, Instagram or something a long time ago. And
hey, Lonnie,
2 days after the tour, and I tagged him in it. And I didn't say, I just said, interesting caption.
Maybe a light ribbon.
yeah, it was. And sure enough, Ghost and Gravestones the next day had it on the front page of their website.
Really?
I was laughing. They gave me credit, but I was like, oh, guys, come on.
That's funny. Hey, take it while you can, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you didn't claim anything. You just said, here's a cool picture. So
yeah. So Bill, we first met like a while back ago when I wasn't even with War Party, and they were like investigating the Gulfstream Hotel.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this for quite a while. Like, what got you into the paranormal?
Well, when I was young, I was always into everything paranormal, horror. It was a little different back then because there was no paranormal TV shows and things all over the place. It was very, pretty much stuck to movies,
Yeah. In search of.
Yeah, exactly. But I kind of had some of my own experiences that I didn't understand, and you couldn't really talk to people about it because everybody would lock you up,
Yeah, exactly.
You were crazy back then. Even my family, my parents, my mother still doesn't believe anything, But I tried to learn. I wanted to know what was going on. I always say we had where I grew up in Fort Lee, New Jersey, originally. There was a house at the end of the block, and I was like, 9 or 10, and that's the haunted house. That's the haunted house of the neighborhood. Everybody was scared of that house, the creepy house. It was weird. Everybody would run past it. I was trying to get inside. That was the type of person I was. I wanted to know what was going on. So little by little, even when I would go to like a family party or something, I would feel things, sense things, and I just didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was going on. I thought myself I was crazy. And little by little, I started researching and learning and studying as much as I could. And I started finding some people here and there that were into it and be able to actually get out. It wasn't until about I think it was 1990 when I was 20 that I got out to an actual residential. Before that, it was just going out and doing what you can. And back then, we didn't have all of this equipment. We had audio, we had video, we had a few things here and there, and we did a lot of stuff with like, you used flour on stuff. You had bells hanging on cabinets, and we had a lot of different stuff back then. But I've been doing it about, I think it's 35 years now.
Okay.
And it's different how it is now. I mean, I'm an IT guy during the day, so I love equipment. I don't use it all on a residential, of course, but it's just a different scene. Like with the birth of TV, it was good and bad. It's great because it brought it out in the forefront, and now people can talk about this, and people are they're less scared to contact you for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just saying that not long ago, right? It is a pro and a con because it definitely brought it out into the open, so people feel a little bit more comfortable talking about it. It brings awareness, but sometimes we got to like bring people back down to earth a little bit, and it's not every time is a demon coming out of the floorboards, and that kind of thing.
That's it.
So you got to understand it is television. There are producers involved. There is
entertainment.
Got to be a psychiatrist. Sometimes, a counselor.
So
I mean, and that's what it is. The shows, I mean, they're great. I watch them. Everything's entertaining, but you got to know what's real and what's not. The problem is a lot of clients we come in contact with, they look at people like Zach Bagans as the expert in the paranormal, and he's an expert entertainer, but
that's exactly what he is.
You can't listen to everything he says.
Yeah, for sure.
And and I put it this way too: is some of the stuff that he captures probably because he uses a lot. He was a pioneer in some of the some of the equipment and some of the things that we use today.
Right.
But it's the like I said, it's the entertainment side of it that kind of takes over. Yeah, very good.
We went to film school. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I ain't hating, because if I was in this position, I wouldn't be complaining either.
No, heck no.
But we've learned from some pretty influential people, like, God rest his soul, Tim Yancey, who recently passed away.
Absolutely.
Learned a lot from him. And now you're with the Warren Foundation. Is that Warren Foundation Research?
It's the Warren Foundation for Paranormal Research. It's amazing. I mean, the people in there are so they're like, I consider them the best of the best in there. Everybody in there pretty much has massive knowledge of stuff. So a lot of stuff I never even knew and have nothing. We have Joe Frankie, who's worked with the Warrens for, I think, close to 40 years. Chris McKinnell, who runs it, who is the grandson of them and has been investigating with them since he was, I think, 16. A lot of that stuff out there is his cases. Like I hear I miss Tim too. A lot of the stuff he talks about was like, he was on the the haunting in Connecticut. That was his case. It's interesting to hear a lot of that, but they do things very differently, and the way they do it is really to help people that are looking for help, that think they're haunted or whatever. And the way they do it is just trying to carry on the legacy of helping everybody.
And
which is fantastic.
Even Tim Yancey, he was a product of the Warrens as well.
Yes.
And we've had some amazing guests on our show, Johnny Zaffis, and I mean, it's his uncle. I mean, don't get better than that. So I've always been intrigued by the Warren Foundation. When we're done with this, I definitely want to talk to you about it more.
Sure.
And pick your brain. But can you tell people that maybe don't know too much about paranormal? Like, we all know who the Warrens are, but what the foundation, what's the main goal and the purpose?
So there's kind of, people hear different things out there. Yeah, there's kind of two parts to the Warrens. The NESPR, which was their team, is up there, is still run by Tony Spera, and this is kind of separate from that. So when Lorraine was still alive, her and Chris created this foundation for Chris to be able to help keep their legacy alive and what they did. So what it does is it bridges people and teams all across the country and across the world into this foundation, and we have different regions. So I'm the regional director for the Southeast U.S. So I cover everything from West Virginia to Florida. So every case that comes in is mine, that's in that area. And I have a team of about probably, I think it's like 30 or so now. A lot of my own team members are on there now. And, we get cases and we, put certain people that have certain skills on them, and we work with them. A lot of it is by Zoom. We do a lot of work by Zoom before anybody really has to go on an investigation if it's necessary. But they do such an amazing job because, the thing about paranormal, which a lot of people don't understand out there, is we need to be kind of united a little more, because Like, I can call you guys anytime I want and say, "Hey, did you ever hear something like this? You have any idea?" Just like you
Yeah.
do the same with me. That's
Mhm.
what that foundation is like. We have so many
More
people.
unity.
Yeah, there's so many people on there. So when we help somebody, they're getting the best advice they could get.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's where I would go. I mean, what could be
Yeah.
better than that? I mean, they're like the godfather, the godmother of the paranormal. So I
Absolutely.
definitely want to learn more. And if anyone else, like in this chat, there are a lot of people in our chat are like paranormal investigators. You know,
Mm.
I think that's one of the best ways you can get educated is through that foundation.
Absolutely. Now they can be a little picky where what
And
they're
you have
looking
to be.
for. Yeah, it's not so much like, okay, you've only been doing this a year. It's not like that, but it's more about how much you know about kind of residentials, because it's not about going on public investigations and historical. It's
Right.
about helping people. So they just want to
Exactly.
make sure that you've worked with people before and you know how to deal with them.
Yeah.
Different subject.
Yeah,
no,
they gotta
exactly.
and look at the reputation they have. You don't want to have the wrong person go into investigation and have no clue what they're doing and freaking people
Absolutely.
out when possibly it's not even anything paranormal, you know?
Yeah, and
Right.
that's that's one of the, also just a reminder for anybody that's out there listening on the KGRA digital broadcasting side. War Party is here, and also the team like Bill's is here, and that's what we pride ourselves on. Everything else kind of came afterwards. We pride ourselves on doing residentials, helping people, and that's why we do our public events. Is to get out there, get our face out there, meet people in person.
Right.
Have them be comfortable with us and be able to walk up to us and be like, hey, you won't believe what's going on, and kind of tell us, and then we can build up and do a residential, and we stay everything that we do. Anytime we do anything that's a residential, it's always 100% confidential. None of that stuff has ever been shown. Any of the stuff that you see Eric and I post, all that stuff is all done like when we're doing
You'll
public
never
events.
see a private case
or hear about it. Really,
advertised.
everything is very, because we want to we want to earn the client's trust, and that's the main thing, is we want to earn their trust, and we want to help them and stay with them until everything is resolved. And like our co-founder said, Zap, we don't have a can of Ghost Be Gone. It's not like we're going to go in there and go, okay, we're good. There's a lot of homework involved. There's a lot of follow-up. There's a lot of work that goes into this to help people. And it's a really great thing. And there's a lot of teams out there that aren't experienced in this, that might want to do it just for the thrills, to get in there and investigate somebody's house. And that stuff could be very, very dangerous, not only for the investigators, the homeowners, but for the mental psyche of the homeowner or business owner too. Because if somebody's going in there just to have fun, and this person's really scared, and this person's worried, and they're reaching out to get to a team. And if you have somebody that's not conducting themselves
and everyone
properly,
already thinks they're crazy.
Yeah, exactly. You could very, very well harm that person's mental state. So
that's what I preach a lot about when I do my lectures. We tell people, hey, if you want to go ghost hunting and learn, sure, but stay out of somebody's house unless you're with somebody who has been doing this for a while. Because I explain to them, during the day, I'm an IT director, but I'm an IT director for a psychiatric drug and alcohol treatment facility.
There you go.
I've been there for over 10 years. Even though I do interact with patients, and I have learned a lot about it. And people don't understand that if you go into a home and you got somebody who is, I hear voices and I see things move and this is going on. A lot of people are learning this from the TV shows, and they go in there. Well, if he's hearing things, it's got to be a ghost in here. And then they start telling them things, and they start using meters, and they don't know how to use them, and things are going off. And if that person happens to have a mental illness, like let's say schizophrenia, your sage is not going to help him. But now you just told him that he's haunted, which is going to mess him up worse than he was.
Exactly.
So it's things like that people have to learn.
So I got a perfect example of that happened to me recently. I'm not going to say any names, but a local TV network wanted me to do a real investigation, and they wanted to put it on national TV of a residential case. And supposedly they found this lady. A lady reached out to the network, and
of course.
So, of course, I told her that, if I'm going to do a real residential case, it's going to be my way. It's not going to be your way. And she didn't want to do it that way. She's like, oh, no, I know mediums and they'll come and they'll bless the place. So I'm like, first of all, I got to talk to this lady to see if it's actually paranormal. So I spoke to the lady, and her whole family thinks that, something's wrong. It's not, there's nothing there paranormal. But she was telling me how she was getting these alien beings that captured on her security camera, and actually it was a mosquito coming from the glare on the IR, and showing me orb pictures and stuff like that. And then the lady that wanted to do the show, she went, I told her, this is what's going on here. There's something wrong with her, because basically she said she felt stuff like crawling all over her. She went to a skin doctor. I think she has needs to talk to someone mentally, but I think that would help tremendously. But so she's like, okay, so I'm going to go over there and I'm going to see if I can catch anything. She's like, I'm going to go there with the SLS camera, because she like has a couple of equipments. And I'm like, no, you're not going to use the SLS. Please don't do that. But you're going to scare her.
Yeah.
So she sends me a video of what she captured in the bedroom on the lady's bed. And in the middle of the bed is a pillow. And then the SLS is mapping out the pillow in the middle of the bed. She's like, Eric, look what I captured. And I'm like, it's mapping out the pillow. You can't use that. That's not a real tool for this type of case. It's good for fun and games and shows, but not when you're dealing with people that need help.
Exactly.
And they were like, are you going to help us with this? And I said, absolutely not.
Good for you.
I don't want my name attached to that.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that you're going to be scaring this lady and making it even worse. So
and it's tough dealing with residential cases sometimes. People don't realize that you get a little attached to some of these people. Too. Yeah, but you get a little attached to some of these people because you want to help them, and sometimes when it's maybe something psychological, it's tough when you can't help them. And I'm going to give you one quick example. There was a lady that contacted us, was up in like northwest Florida somewhere, and she was a very old lady living in a little tiny place in the middle of the woods out there, and she was going crazy that she had ghosts in her home and things were being stolen and missing, and so we're talking to her, and I tried to do my best for her. It was very tough because she doesn't have anything. She had a wall phone, doesn't have computers, doesn't have anything, and she's talking to us, and telltale signs people have to learn is the difference between a ghost and mental illness. There are some very big telltale signs. She was going on the basic things, like she's hearing things, she's seeing things were disappearing and appearing other places. But then she told us, she called me one time at 3:00 in the morning, and she was frantic because she said that they're running a restaurant in her house, and there's people sitting there waiting to be served, and she doesn't know what to do. And they're using her phone by tapping into her fire alarm. So like all these are the type of red flags, but it's heartbreaking to hear this little old lady crying to you on the phone.
Yeah.
And you can't fully get her help. She had no family. She had no friends. She had nobody that could really help her. The craziest part about this was, at one point, I said to myself, this lady's got a wall phone. She's got nothing. She doesn't have internet. How in the hell did she find us? Because she contacted me. Do you know, I forget the name of the company, but when you have insurance, like health insurance, and they have that number that you could call and they'll connect you to the specialist you need or whatever within your network.
Right.
She has a number that she calls all the time. I guess it's the same lady she deals with all her, her what do you call it? Her medical cases. And she was telling her what was going on. And this lady looked up online and referred her to me. I didn't know we took insurance.
Oh, wow.
I just found that kind of interesting, that they would even do that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she was frantic and tired of listening to her or something, but it was very strange. But, we did the best we could for her. And it's just, it's heartbreaking sometimes when you have these people and you can't help them when it's not something, because we're not doctors. We can't diagnose somebody.
But we could maybe push them into the right direction. Yeah. But that's hard too, right? Because you have to be very diplomatic about it, and you can't be like, yeah, you're nuts, you got to go see a psychiatrist. You got to like wean them into it, have them build your trust and kind of push them in that right direction.
Sometimes you can't. They don't want to hear it.
No, exactly.
It's very tough. We tell them up front. We do a lot of questions we do are very personal, and we explain to them that we don't want you to hide anything from us. Some people will hide from you that they have a mental illness or they're on a medication because they're going to assume that you're going to go, well, that's the problem. And that's not always the case, because it can be both. I mean, a spirit and stuff will actually, and a demon, the rare time they are around, they will attack people who are already oppressed.
Yes.
So it is very hard to explain to them, but we say it up front and we tell them a little bit. We can't really even tell them you should go see a psychiatrist because you could get in trouble because you're not authorized to give medical advice. One of the interesting things that's I think is going to come in very handy now is one of the new team members I brought on. She's a fully licensed psychologist. She's a doctor.
Okay, awesome.
So she can actually, she's not going to sit there and diagnose people, but if it came to the point, she can give advice of where to go and what to do and what's going on. That definitely helps some of these people.
Yeah, we have a team member that she has a background in psychology as well. She's not a practicing one, but she's educated in it. So it's always good to have people like that.
It is. That's what I loved about Tim.
Yeah.
Tim was a great guy and really wanted to help everybody. And didn't matter what it was, he would sit there for hours and whatever and just help them,
And just a fun person to be with. He's always like in a good mood, no matter how down things are. You would never know it.
No, you would never know. When he was having all those problems back then, you would never know.
Well, he save someone from drowning? I mean, like, how was that even possible? It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard about that.
Hey, James. I got James, one of our team members up in New York.
I know James.
What's up, James?
So, Mike, we're at that halfway point where we got to pay the bills, right?
Yeah, we are. So I'm going to give a big shout out to the Ghost Hunter store, and we're going to roll this little clip here. And yeah.
What's up, my paranormal peeps? I'm Eric Vanderlaan, and I'm the host of War Party Paranormal Radio, and also the team leader of War Party Paranormal Research. And we got an exciting announcement to let you guys know tonight, and it involves stuff like this, and my co-host is going to tell you all about it.
What's up, guys? I'm Mike Del Coro with War Party, obviously. We are a technical team, and we always have people ask us, where can we get equipment like this? Well, you can get it from the ghosthunterstore.com. We got a nice little sponsorship worked out with them. We're going to be doing some giveaways, so stay tuned. Very, very cool, and go check them out at theghosthunterstore.com.
Peace. So Scotty's in the chat, and she's always telling me about my finger placement when I'm holding that bear. And I don't know if you caught that, but I know we may have to edit that.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I don't even think you were doing it on purpose.
No, I was just holding it. But people would think I was doing it on purpose, though.
So, guys, everybody that's listening here, we got a little sponsorship worked out with them. Yeah. What we're gonna do
goes for you, Bill, and your team that's on here.
Yeah, if you guys go to the Ghost Hunter store and you put in Ghost Gone Wild as your promo code on the
not
checkout.
Girls Gone Wild, not Girls Gone Wild, Ghost Gone Wild.
No, Ghosts Gone Wild. Yeah. You will get a discount on your purchase. And if you go ahead and Eric, what's going to be the code word for today? Let's do Bill's team. Your the acronym for the team.
Which is P.E.R.S.
Yeah.
Yep. So in the comments, put P.E.R.S. and you will be entered in for a chance to win a $50 gift card to the Ghost Hunter store at the beginning of next month. And that's from Dave Giuliano, and he's a really good guy. And we appreciate him and everything they do for
demonologist
as well. Yeah, he works
He's connected with the Warren too.
Yeah, he's been doing it for 20. He's owned the store 22 years. I think he's been investigating and everything for like 30 something as well, up in New Jersey area. And he works with the Warrens and stuff as well. And so really good guy.
And there's no rules. If you're part of P.E.R.S, you can still enter the contest.
I'm entering right now.
Yeah, do it. And then we got one more quick one for you guys.
What's up, my paranormal people? Eric and Mike here from the War Party Paranormal Radio Show, wanting you to remember the importance of hydration. Remember, we hunt ghosts. We don't want to turn into ghosts. Dehydration can lead to inflammation and even degenerative disease. So hydration is crucial.
Whether you're up all night investigating the paranormal, sky watching, or Bigfoot, Fuel Up Hydration System is designed to support motivation, concentration, and rejuvenation with the best immune-enhancing delivery system available today.
Experience the benefits of Fuel Up with their Feel the Difference money-back guarantee.
Visit fuelup.gg/warparty for their special offer that includes free shipping.
Fuel Up for life.
Hey, Eric, how do we do?
Which is awesome.
All right. Well, maybe we should stick to hunting ghosts. I don't know if commercials is our thing.
True that. That would have worked awesome at Belglade. Remember how hot it got in there?
Oh yeah, hydration.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you gone out in investigation and like I don't know, maybe
you're drenched,
and I always like forget to bring enough water or anything, and I'm dying. You know, this stuff's actually tastes really good. It works. It's really good stuff. So if you go to fuelup.gg/warparty, you get a discounted product, and they take care of the shipping as well. So check it out.
Bill, we got to take your team to Aerojet rocket facility in the Everglades.
I want to go. I want to. Yeah.
That place is banana sandwich.
Yeah, it is. So basically, that place was where they were testing fuel for rockets for NASA, and the guy Jack Parsons was the director of it. They
call him the father of rocketry.
Yeah. And he was also worked with Aleister Crowley and
he's a cultist,
Satanism and all types of things. And now that's what people are doing there currently at this location. We've seen so many crazy stuff there and experienced some weird stuff there. So it's a really cool place to check out.
Yeah, no,
just
definitely.
Be safe with yourself when you leave.
Yeah. It's a bit of a walk there, right?
You got to bring a bike. 3 miles. Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Or an electric scooter. Mike and Joe ride scooters there.
I had to get a big boy
and then put everything in the backpack.
Big boy scooter.
So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
But kind of going back to what we were kind of chatting about, and the residential stuff. Like you said, it's very important that you it's not a game. These are people's lives. And there is also another connection that would mimic type haunting events. There's a couple of different things, right, that we all know as investigators. EMF can a high concentration EMF can give you the feeling of being watched and different things, right? Mental things going on with the brain. And also what a lot of people leave out too is drugs and alcohol addiction. And
absolutely,
that can also, withdrawals, things like that can also bring, or trauma, can also bring haunting type scenarios, but here's where it gets real tricky, right? And this is why you want a team that's very educated in this, because doesn't necessarily mean that somebody that is having problems with drug and alcohol is not in a haunted situation.
Exactly.
So, or has a mental health issue that is not experiencing a haunting. That doesn't mean they can be both. And that's where that's when it really starts to get.
Yeah. And if it's something evil and someone's having that type of condition, it could fuel it and make it even worse.
Yeah, because the negative energy too, the negative energy of
They get stronger.
of these
They feed off
things.
that.
So that's where it starts getting to be a real slippery slope. It's not very cut and dry. Sometimes you got to spend some, a good amount of time trying to figure out what's exactly going on.
And again, like you were saying, for people who don't know, I encourage people to learn, but go with people that know what they're doing, because you can harm yourself along with that client.
Yeah.
I've told the story before. I don't have to tell the whole story now, but my first ever residential case turned out to be a demonic case with a guy that got full on attacked next to me. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're in for a world of trouble if you go in there and you stir that up. You forget the client; they're going to be in trouble too. But you could get yourself in a lot of trouble. Your team, you're responsible. I take my team in; I'm responsible for all of those people.
Yeah.
Some of them have not as much experience residential, but they're in with me. They're learning, and they do a great job. They're good with people if they haven't been part of a lot of cases, and it does fall onto my responsibility to take care of them.
And
so
that's and that's another thing. I want to give a huge shout out to our co-founders, John Zapp Adderall and Marla Scotty Burns, which is right there. It's always great having people like them that have been the experience and the amount of residentials that both of them have done throughout their lives.
Using a compass and baby powder like 100 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So it's good to have people like that to lean on, and to work with. And we learned a lot from them. And especially when it comes to residential cases, they are, some of the best.
Yeah. We got a process in place where you can like weed out a lot of something that's not going to be worthwhile investigating. Yeah, I'm sure you do too. With us, we have like a telephone interview. We do a preliminary, we do a full on investigation. How do you guys do an investigation? Is it pretty much the same type of steps?
Well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, now since COVID, pretty much where we do I used to love doing the initial interview. Actually, I mean, we do talk to them on the phone first, get some info, but the first real sit down, I used to like going to the location and sit with them. I like to hear what they have to say. I also like to hear what they have to say after they've already told us on the phone, because you kind of match it up a little bit, but we've been doing a lot through Zoom now initially, because you can tell a lot on Zoom, talking to them, seeing what they're doing before you have to pack up and go to their house. Most of the investigations we do residential, most of them are light. We'll go in with people who are sensitive. We'll go in with minor equipment, see what we think, teach them how to cleanse along with cleansing. And a lot of times that will solve it. We only do the full-blown overnight camera, all crazy, if it's really necessary. Because I tell the people, some of them want that. They watch too much TV. They want that. And I tell them, you don't understand. If we think that it's maybe just energy, because I know you guys and all this know about that. A lot of teams out there do not know about energy. They, there's a lot of times you can just take some sage and I use a singing bowl and all that, and you can cleanse the energy in that house and it's going to go away. But a lot of people watch the stuff on TV and they think we have to come in there with all the cameras. And I try to explain to them that if we come into your house and we stay here for 4 hours overnight, with 15 cameras, and it's going to take us 2 months to go through the equipment. You're going to be dealing with this for the next 2 months. And guess what?
And it's not necessary to do that sometimes.
Right. And at the end of that 2 months,
something's going on,
Yeah, it's like jumping in and doing surgery before you even, assess the patient,
Right. And the thing is, a lot of times after that 2 months of reviewing footage, we're going to go there and we're going to cleanse your house. We're going to teach you how to cleanse it. The same thing we would have done that night. So it depends. Everything is case by case.
Yeah. And I know you're doing lectures like all over the place. Is it mainly down here in Florida, or you've been traveling out of state?
I've been trying. I've been asked a lot of places outside here too, and I just haven't had the time to be able to go. Last year we were asked to go to Hauntland. I couldn't get up there.
It's hard. We also have day jobs too. We got to pay the bills.
Yeah, exactly. I stay around here as many as I can. I do get a lot of contacts from out there, and I'm going to try to go to some more often. It just, again, depends on the time off and what we could do. I love to go out there and educate everybody on this stuff. I entertain them a little bit with what we're doing, but I like to educate them a bit because there's a lot of misunderstandings out there. And if you're on any of the Facebook pages with me, the groups, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I've seen you get into it, and like, what is wrong with these people?
People love me and hate me at the same time.
And there's one, and it's that one page, that one infamous page. I won't say the name, but it's like people have been watching too many.
It's hard, you know, because I get people that'll show me too, like orbs, you know. And
you have so much patience. I'd be like, I'm done with this thing. I mean, I can't do it anymore.
Well, you know why I do it, honestly? Is because some of those people will contact me privately and ask for help. And if one out of the 50 that are slamming me contact me, that's why I'm in there doing it. You know, for real. I try to educate them, and I put a seed in their head, and they don't want to learn. They're not going to learn. I mean, most of them post a picture and say, please tell me what this is. But all they really want is confirmation of what they believe it is.
Exactly. And if you try to tell them what it actually is, they get upset. And that's.
Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day, they're like, well, how do you know what you're talking about? I said, okay, so I don't, people say I'm arrogant when I tell them, well, I've been doing this for 35 years and I have education in it and I have experience and I've done 5, 6, who knows how many 100 homes. And I said, and during the day, I'm an IT director. So I'm an expert in technology and photography and CCTV. I know all about this stuff. The place I work at, we have over 100 cameras. I use them all day long. So that's where it's coming from. And then they tell me either, oh, I'm being arrogant or who cares what I know? Doesn't matter. Well,
yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Is paranormal's unexplained, right? So if you can explain, if I can explain it, then I'm going to explain it. If I can't explain it, then it's unknown, and that's what I'm going to leave it at. I'm not going to say, and that's that. I'm kind of the same way, and I have a background in electronics, and I worked as a field technician for years in the marine industry, and I am a sales rep for one of the largest marine electronics companies in the United States. So we sell radar, CCTV, security, communications, satellite communications, Wi-Fi networking, but on yachts, so, but yeah, no, that's for sure. Some people, they don't want to actually hear what the truth is. They want to hear what they believe is the truth, and it's a shame, but what are you gonna do? That's people.
I've been told, one guy goes, oh, well, this was, I normally won't call out investigators, unless it's something really stupid. And this was something really stupid. And I called the guy out. I didn't call him out. I just explained something to him. And he goes, obviously you've never been on an investigation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, okay.
That's all you could do, right?
Yeah, that's all I do.
Smile and
I laugh.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
All right, so we're getting close to our 10-minute mark, and what that means is all our KGRA listeners are going to be going to the next show, and those people that don't know about KGRA, they have some amazing shows. They have the Bishop Long, who's been on Ghost Adventures. They talk about UFOs. They have MUFON. They talk about the paranormal. We're not the only paranormal show on there. They got some great people on there. So
cryptids as well.
Yeah, cryptids. Go check them out.
KGRADB.com. And great network, and we're happy to have them hosting our show.
Yep. And if you still want to watch us and you don't want to jump over, then just hop over to our War Party Paranormal YouTube page.
And we're here.
And all you people that are on there, if you haven't subscribed, do it now.
All you peoples.
And like.
Yeah, definitely. And we appreciate it, guys. If you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, it just helps promote us and get us out there. So the more, times that you hit that little like button and subscribe and show up and watch, and it just kind of helps us spread the word and get our stuff out there. So I know you hear it all the time from everybody, but we do appreciate it.
Just imagine if we had like over 100 people in the chat. Like, how crazy would that be?
Awesome.
Don't you guys in the chat want to see that?
But you know what, though? That's important, because why I do these lectures at these conventions and spend all my time is to educate people and to get them learning about stuff. So it's the same thing. Get them on and listen to you guys and learn some things,
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
basically a paranormal show for paranormal people, paranormal investigators.
Yeah.
A lot of them are on here because, they want to get ideas from other people who are doing this in the same field.
Yeah.
And
I could talk to you guys for hours.
Yeah, we got a
Right? I
perfect
know.
person right here in front of us. So that's why you're on the show.
So Bill, go ahead.
No, have you guys been doing any type of events, like ghost hunting events, or are you mostly focused on lectures in the residentials?
I'm right now mostly focused on the residentials. We're trying to get out, do some, just some public investigating with ourselves. And the events. I mean, the events are, I try to get as many as I can to get out there and try to get everybody involved as possible with the team. And,
Right.
there's only, again, it's only so much time. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
We would be doing a lot more if we had a lot more free time.
And you got a big group. How many members do you have on your team?
Now, I was keeping it pretty small for a while. Now we have, I believe it's 16. I don't go too big because
Okay.
we just added three people on the west coast of Florida, 2 down in Miami, and 2 in Nebraska. Tom in Nebraska is great. I've worked with him before. I had a case out there that he went and helped me with, a while back, and then he left his team, so he decided to start a branch of our team out there in Nebraska. And almost everybody on my team is a member of the Warren Foundation. A few of them aren't because they're still new, and they'll eventually be on there.
So
Very
someone was asking one of our team members, what does P.E.R.S stands for? And it stands for Paranormal Existence Research Society.
Yep.
I say that right?
Yep.
There you go. We call it P.E.R.S. Try to say that
Well,
real fast.
I used to always say P.E.R.S because it sounded good, and now everybody yells at me because it's P.E.R.S. Oh yeah. Now, if you have time, let's talk about that for a minute. I don't think Joe even knows. I suffered from that for about a week and a half after that one. That was a mess. I've never had that, especially coming. I've been to the Riddle House many times.
Oh,
now.
You got to tell Joe about this.
Yeah, Joe, I don't think he knows. We were up there, and Joe was telling it directly. Whoever they were talking to up there, Joseph or whoever it was that they were talking to, they said, "Oh, he's got the new equipment, and he's never been up in the attic. I want you to talk directly to him." And on one of the recorders, it said, "He's dead, clear as day." And it was weird because it spoke over him talking, which I've never heard before like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was laughing about, when we went down the stairs, I had everybody take my equipment, and I was like holding on for dear life because, I've been pushed to the floor before and stuff. So I didn't want to take any chances going down those steep stairs. Yeah. But honestly, I've never had any kind of attachment come out of a place like that. And I was messed up for about a week and a half.
This is the Riddle House people.
Yeah, I was sick as can be. I was having the worst luck I can possibly have. I finally got blessed and cleansed, and it all went away. And again, it's weird because normally from something like the Riddle House or stuff, I mean, you don't get attachments from stuff like that, but they can pass their energy on to you.
Yeah.
And it said clear. Yeah. I mean, clear as day. He's dead. It wasn't even a question of anybody even wondering what it was. Everybody heard it.
Well, it's funny that you say that. Well, it's not funny that you said that, but one of our team members, I don't know if you know JP, he had a similar experience that you had, but this was after.
It's all Joe's fault, actually, really.
Right. But JP had this exact similar experience you did at the prison chapel at Belle Glade. The Belle Correctional Facility. Right after that, a lot of bad things were happening to the point where, like, he opened up like a cabinet and something fell from the cabinet, hit him in the head. He had to get stitches. Things were going bad at work. He was losing things, and then they would reappear. So he had to do the same thing.
Broke. I'm an IT. My computer doesn't break.
Right.
It cost me like $1,200 to fix it. It was bad.
Oh wow.
Oh, Joe said that JP was with you guys that night. Maybe he brought it on to you.
Well, some people, I forget their names. Was he the one film? Yeah. He was. It was his recorder that got it.
Ah, interesting. Well, he didn't
was
have that
live.
recorder. He didn't have that recorder when that thing happened to him at the prison chapel. But
Maybe that's
Well,
holding
you know
some
what's
you gotta be
funny is
careful.
who do we have on last week? Was it Rob from Get Haunted?
He got rid of a DR60. He got something so disturbing on it from the Conjuring house that just didn't even want it anymore.
Yeah, he sold it after that, and he got affected. He said pretty badly, but he thinks a lot of it had to do with his own stuff that he was working through.
Yeah,
you know, but
his
that just kind of
issues.
amplified it.
It mixes. Yeah.
And
Well-
but yeah, he got rid of his DR after that.
Well, this is why I travel with Scotty.
Yeah, the paracooler.
Because nobody wants to follow her.
She scares it all away.
Yep, there'll be a straight out ass whooping. That's for sure.
Well, it was funny when I came home. You know, I came home late that night, and the next morning, I was telling my wife, I was laughing. I'm like, "You got to hear what it said." She just looked at me. She's like, "I don't think that's funny." I'm like, you know, because she's always cleansing my stuff after I go out, and you know.
Now, what does she think about what you do?
She doesn't particularly care for it. She supports me. Yeah, she doesn't care for it.
You ain't coming in this house till you save your ass.
Well, she's into crystals, and she's a licensed feng shui consultant, and she knows a lot about, you know, energy and everything like that.
That's
and
good.
She taught me a lot too.
Yeah.
But if I go out on an investigation, even if it's public or anything, the next day when I'm out, she's cleansing my clothes, my equipment. She's doing everything just in case. Yeah.
Hey, it doesn't hurt, right?
No.
Sounds like Joe's wife.
Actually, my girlfriend, Kat, she was in the chat earlier. I don't know if she's still here, but she was very skeptical and didn't like it and was like, "Nah, I'm not," you know, and like was like a little scared of it in the beginning, and now she just joined us at the Denham house, full investigation, had something happen, and we were watching the video back.
You need to stop this now.
And she was all into it, man. There she is.
Yeah.
And it was funny because we were watching the video back to edit the video, and during the Delco experiment, she's like, "Manifest if you can do it and just show yourself to the I'm like, and I was looking at her like when we were watching the video back, and I'm like, what? She's like, I don't know what the hell I was saying, because if something would have happened, I would have been out. Like I would have been out. I was just in the moment, like I was getting all into it. She's like, I didn't even know what in the world I was saying.
Good.
Well, what's funny is she'll never go on investigation. She does believe in it 100%, but she won't go. But when I just came back from a trip through New Year's. I was in Italy and London, and I actually got her doing some EVPs out in front of Amy Winehouse's house.
Oh wow!
Unfortunately, we got nothing you can make out.
Yeah,
you know, but I actually got her doing some EVPs because I'm like, nothing's coming to me. Like, why don't you try?
I would definitely love to go visit some places over there overseas and investigate. It'll be coming soon.
Europe.
Get ready, because I went through the airport coming home with my carry-on. They went through. They scanned that thing. They took everything out. They were going. They didn't know what that stuff was. I had an ovulus. I had I had all.
What if I brought the EDI? They'd be like, "This is a bomb or something."
I had the EDI. I had a lot of stuff that they had no idea what it was. I had to explain to them, and the guy was like, "That's a first." I got to remember this.
Every time I fly, I get like a little nervous going through. Like, oh boy! And the last couple times, just right through, nobody said nothing. So
coming out of London,
I definitely going overseas or something like that. I'm sure they're a little bit more. But yeah, no, that's funny. I would love to get over there, man. You know what I really would like to do is get into the catacombs over in France.
I did the catacombs in Naples.
Naples, Italy.
Catacombs of San Gennaro. Yeah,
that's where my whole family's from originally.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful over there. I mean, everywhere. It was just it's an amazing time.
So I didn't even know they had catacombs there. Another reason to go visit the
Rome has 4, I think, 4 or 5.
Really?
And Naples has 2, I think.
And they're still accessible. Like you can still.
Yeah. Well, they're tours. You got to go in with tours. You can't just go wandering down. That's the only problem over there. You know. Yeah, I tried to find ghost tours or private. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
The international language.
Big donation.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a little donation for you.
So, Bill, it was awesome talking with you, and I'm really happy to have you on the show, and we both are.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Just getting that time. So, if people want to look up and see like when your next events are, if they want to follow you on social media or anything like that, what's the best way for them to find you?
The two easiest ways, and you'll see all the other links, is for me, I have my own site now, billslevin.com.
Okay.
And for the team is the P.E.R.S.F.L.com. And we have the links on there to everything else, Instagram, Facebook, everything we have. I'm working on getting my YouTube started and all that, but probably in the next few months. But everything is on those two sites.
Awesome.
All right, cool.
And we do have, I was going to say, we do have two things coming up next month.
Okay.
September 4th is the Sunrise Comic-Con. I'll be there all day. I'm one of their guests, and we have a panel at 2:30. And I'll be at MegaCon up in Orlando, March 30th to April 2nd. We're up in a section called the Halls of Horror. I'll have the whole booth, all the equipment. We're going to do multiple panels. A lot of fun.
Back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome for sure. Definitely have to check it out.
Yeah.
And then, I almost forgot something, but we'll do it afterwards. Me, if you want to follow any of my content, my stuff, it's easy to get a hold of me right at my website. It's FLA.paranormalresearcher.com. Same kind of thing. I got links out to all my social media. I'm most active on Instagram. And make sure to check out Eric and I on Paraflix. We just dropped a new episode from the Denim House. It was
Part one.
We got so much activity that we couldn't even fit it in one episode, so we had to break it into two episodes. I mean, two-part episodes.
People, it's only $3.99 a month. You can watch us.
And you get 25. You get 25% off if you use our code Haunted Files 25 because our show is called.
And they got some great shows on there too. We're not the only one.
Exactly.
Got a horror movies as well.
They do. They have all kinds of stuff. They're really growing and they're up and coming, and they really got a good thing going on.
Patty Negree's on there.
Yeah, Patty Negree and Natalie Jones. They're really killing it. They're doing a lot of events. They're doing a great job, and that's why we're happy to be with them. Eric, where can they find you? And then I'll run the trailer for the Denim episode.
Well, you can find me at Ghost Hunter South Florida on YouTube, IG, Facebook, TikTok. More importantly, follow Chief Whoopin' Ass, War Party Paranormal. Tell everyone to watch. We're on every Monday night. Come subscribe, watch us. We got more guests coming your way, and possibly some investigations where we're going to have our team members with us. Still trying to work on the next live investigation. So hopefully that'll be coming to you soon. And you can follow War Party Paranormal at warpartyparanormal.com, and everything there is connected.
Yep. And then we also have an upcoming public investigation at Yesteryear Village next weekend on Saturday.
Where all those things happen to Bill. This is the place. So
yeah,
if you want to check it
out with us. Come check it out. What's the date on that again? What's the Saturday? I'm sorry. I'm terrible.
It's this coming Saturday. Go to Yesteryear.
18th. So if you go to South Florida Fairgrounds.com events, and it's there, and you can find it.
You could bring home a souvenir.
Yeah, history and haunts.
So,
by the way, Joseph likes whiskey or bourbon, so bring a bottle for him as an offering.
And not our Joseph, the Joseph,
the one that hung himself up in the third floor attic.
We don't want him. We don't want Joe getting a hold of the whiskey.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a lot of man swinging around. So we're going to go ahead and play that trailer for that new episode that we just dropped, and make sure you guys check it out for us. I don't know if what's scarier, the possible ghosts or Eric's driving.
Moves down here, right?
Come on, dude, that was funny.
Here I feel nauseous.
And I realized that the door was creaked open.
I looked down there, I heard like footsteps.
No, nobody's anywhere.
I think I felt your pain. Greetings.
Sarah, do you like
Haunted.
Oh, yeah. They say this is the most haunted place here.
In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Now you're going to have to sign up now because you're going to have to play catch up because part 1's already out. Part 2's coming out.
Part 1 came out last Saturday. So it's still streaming now. It'll be up there. You got to check it out. And then part 2, I believe, is coming out this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So it is. It's coming out this Saturday. Part 2.
We already got one ready. We even got episode 3 ready. We're not going to tell you what it is yet. It's going to be a good one.
So part 2, I would say part 1 gets you kind of into all the history of everything that was going on. We got a couple good EVPs, some good interaction. And then part 2,
grand finale,
we moved to the second story where most of the activity was reported.
It really got crazy.
It really gets wild.
Yeah.
So gonna want to check it out.
Responses that we got from the Delco was just like pretty wild. And then I was in the cupola and that was pretty wild up in there too.
Yeah, very, very, very.
I kept on calling it the arugula. I call it a cupola. I was calling it arugula.
So
maybe that wasn't funny.
I thought it was funny. But all right, guys,
we got to go there. Take your team there.
Yeah.
Again, check it out.